I'm Susan. Welcome to Tea and Games. The tea today is Yorkshire Gold, and this is a special episode. Welcome to new subscribers. I'm happy you're here. You are here just in time for the second channel anniversary. The day, I'm recording this a little bit ahead of time, but the day that this goes up on YouTube will be the second anniversary of me starting this channel. So I thought because I have gotten an awful lot of new subscribers lately, that I would give you a little bit of background. Some of you have already heard this, so I will be brief, on how this whole Tea and Games channel thing came to be. A couple of years ago, actually started really before that, I was on Facebook, and I do have friends widely scattered around that play board games, and I would post pictures and stuff about the games Robert and I played on the weekend, because my husband Robert and I are casual weekend board gamers. And my board game friends on Facebook never saw my board game post. So, and then of course, all of my friends who do not care at all about board games, they saw every one of my board game posts. And I figured they probably were sort of bored out of their mind with this whole thing. So I got a little frustrated with that whole social media algorithm thing, and I have been watching videos on YouTube for a while, and I realized that there was a thriving community of content creators on YouTube, including a thriving community of small content creators on YouTube. So I thought, okay, maybe I should give that a try. So, because I mean, everybody has access to YouTube. You don't have to wait on some algorithm to serve you up what it thinks you might want to see. You can just subscribe to a channel and it will show you. So I thought, yeah, I'll give that a try. There was a teeny tiny little stumbling block to that though, and that is that I found the prospect of doing this terrifying. I come across as a very outgoing person, but I'm really actually not. I can just do that thing if I have to. So yeah, and I have a reputation of being camera shy going way back. I like taking pictures, being in them, not so much. So yeah, it's like recording videos of myself. That's going like, it kind of seems like a good idea, but I don't know if I can do this. So I just screwed my courage to the sticking place and did a little preview teaser trailer, which you can still see on the channel. By the way, this is my 100th numbered episode, but I do have, I've done more than 100 because I do have a few little short things here and there that are not numbered. One of them actually even made it into the little shorts tab or whatever on the channel. So, so the first few episodes I recorded, I was basically in the throes of full panic and anxiety, but I got through it. And editing the videos made me feel kind of queasy, but I did that too. And after a while, it stopped being as scary. And I really enjoy it. And that was kind of a surprise to me. The bigger surprise is that apparently other people enjoy it too. So I'm really glad you're here. It's kind of shocking. I have 219 subscribers as of today. When I started making this channel, what I was aiming for a max total number of subscribers, which means every human being I knew that played board games, 7. That was what I was shooting for subscribers. And of the friends that play board games that I started off making this channel for, yeah, they're still not seeing my board game stuff. I mean, I know a couple of them have watched one or two videos like within, say, the first year that I was doing it, but yeah, mostly no. So it's like they depend upon me to text them or email them or talk to them. Gosh, talk to them to talk about board games. So I'm now making this channel for all of you. And we are having us some fun. That's what we've been doing. And I'm hoping that the fun is going to continue for a while. So I'm really happy you're here. And I hope you'll stick around. I'm doing something different. I have never done that whole top 10, top 50 like all-time list. And I mean, it's not really an all-time list. Let's face it, no list is really an all-time list. They're mostly just kind of a right now list, but that's good enough. So top 50. We're going to start a top 50 countdown. Now, some of you may recall a couple of months ago, I ran my games through Pub Meeple, and I did talk a little bit about some surprises that turned up on top. So the very top of the list may not be too much of a surprise for some of you, but you get further down in the list, and there are some surprises, or at least some things that you're going like, and why is that so far down on the list? Or, why is that on the list at all? So let's get into it with number 50. Oh, yes, one other thing before we do this. I'm not going to do one of these every single week because then I fall too far behind talking about other board gamey things that I want to talk about. So I'm just going to like drop a section of 10 every now and then. But yeah, there's going to be like 10 at a time. So that's 5 videos that'll do that. And I will eventually stack them all in a handy dandy playlist. But let's start with number 50. Number 50 is, and that's part of the reason why I've got these things stacked up on either side of me. And that's why the camera is higher than usual. Number 50 is Ryan Laukatt's Sleeping Gods, a Red Raven game, a campaign game. We don't do too many campaign games, and so far we haven't done any Legacy, though I've got one, I just haven't done it. Sleeping Gods, we played this a couple of years ago, and we enjoyed it for the most part. We did not like combat, but I got a flash for you. We don't like combat in anything. We don't even like, we play Starfinder, an RPG periodically. We don't like combat in that either. In fact, the only time I can ever recall enjoying combat and not just utterly hating it was the Christmas thing we did with the RPG group for Starfinder. It was kind of a regular scenario that had been homebrewed to have a Christmas theme, and we inserted, like by general idea, a side quest thing, which resulted in, the little squirrel-like creatures, I think they're called squawks or something like that, shooting off fireworks in the park and like as weapons. And so that was a huge amount of fun. Combat with fireworks for a Christmas episode in an RPG is the only time that I've ever enjoyed combat and not utterly hated it. So the fact that I hated combat in this doesn't really signify. But we enjoyed it on a whole. We were, I have to say, sharply disappointed with the ending we got. There are several different endings you can get with this. And I like that there isn't just one ending, win or lose, that kind of thing, that you can basically have a variety of outcomes at the end of the campaign. We just weren't that crazy about the outcome we got. But we enjoyed that whole exploration thing and discovery and traveling by map. So, Sleeping Gods. And also, I might add, last year at Christmas time, as sort of an us present, we got the expansion, the Tides of Ruin expansion for it, which had more encounters for like a separate encounter book that goes like for the numbers that are off the map in the regular game encounter book. And we were hoping to get to that this summer, and we didn't. Okay, number 49 is kind of a surprise in a way. Skull Canyon Ski Fest. When I played this the first time, I thought, I don't know, I think there's something wrong with this game. It just seems to lack something. It seems like it just isn't quite there, doesn't quite work. Something, it just is a little flat, you know. But you know, those first playthroughs are always kind of notoriously a little wonky. We don't always get the correct impression of a game the first time we play it. Well, for one thing, we don't always play games correctly the first time we play them. But we played it again, and like the second time we played it, several months had passed, maybe even a year, I don't know. But the second time we played it, we both looked at each other and go like, yeah, this was fun. This is a family weight game. You're not going to break your brain playing it, but you are going to have fun. So yeah, this is a family weight fun game. We have actually played it with some family members. Other family members couldn't make it that day, so we're still hoping to get the whole family in on this. But boy, my nephew, he just kept throwing Yetis at us. Yetis everywhere. No, there's only actually one Yeti in the game, but that sucker can move. So yeah, Skull Canyon Ski Fest came in at 49, which surprised me because if you had asked me when I played it after the first time I played it, I would have said this is not going to make any list. I'm not even sure if we're going to keep it, but yeah, this is a keeper. And also, we played it this past August because it was so nice to play a game with snow in it because August, Texas, 100-degree temperatures. Yeah, we need snow. And that was number 49 over here for number 48. Number 48, maybe a little bit of recency bias. Number 48 is The Pursuit of Happiness. I've lost count of the number of people who recommended this game to me, saying, you're going to like this. And we did. This was a lot of fun. This is also another family weight game that you can play and have a lot of fun with family members, but it is a legit strategy game. It tends to get compared to the Game of Life that people played when they were a kid, the old classic game, but that's because of the theme. This is so much better done and has so many more options and fun stuff that you can do in the game. And because it is a legit strategy game, it doesn't have that kind of randomness stuff. You can get married or not get married. You can have same-sex partners if you want to. You can have cool jobs and hobbies like board games and drinking whiskey. Yeah, I kind of got board games and whiskey the last time I played. This was fun. It was a tremendous amount of fun. And yeah, the guy I dated, I just dated him for his resources. So, Pursuit of Happiness, number 48. Number 47 is another one that I think may be on the list due to recency bias, but we have been playing it a lot and we do have a huge amount of fun with it. I don't know that I would call Sleeping Gods exactly just chock-a-block full of what I call pure fun, but Skull Canyon Ski Fest, Pursuit of Happiness, and Doomlings, yeah, all of those are like just the whole happy, fun game day kind of things. This is number 47 on my list. We've gotten this within the past year. This box is empty because I am now carrying this around in my Quiver card case. Ooh, look, iridescence. Shiny. It is a pure card game. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to teach and easy to learn. And it's just like it can play a lot of people. It's just a light card game, a fun card game. It can play a lot of people, but Robert and I can play it at 2 and still have a good time. And that's important. But yeah, I like this because it has a lot of possibilities. Like if you're just going to be going into a random group of people and you want a light card game that people can pick up pretty quickly and have a good time playing, this is a good option. And there's expansions for it, which I've got some of them. But yeah, it's a pure card game. It's just cards. Though they do have player mats, which has some of the pretty art. These cards have very pretty art on them. Or well, the landscape ones, the ones that show landscape, those are like the event cards, the ages cards. They have pretty artwork. The cards have like little goofy doomlings on them, like this, on the cards that you're actually playing. So that was number 47. Number 46. Number 46 is pretty much the same thing. Once again, a light, fast card game. This one I would say is less easy to teach than Doomlings. Doomlings is more straightforward than Chili Mafia. Chili Mafia has some advanced variants in it, some little extra options on some of the cards that you can do, and things like that. We don't usually play that because we keep forgetting what the icons do. But yeah, fast, fun. It's got goofy cartoon chili artwork on it. If you like the artwork of the goofy beans on Bonanza, then you can have goofy peppers to go with it. Ooh, kind of sounds good, like chili beans. But yeah, this has a fair amount of take that in it, but I would say the same for Doomlings. This was our go-to pull-out, light, fast, fun card game before we got Doomlings, and now we've been leaning into Doomlings a lot. So it seems kind of appropriate that they're right next to each other on the list, but we have not yet abandoned Chili Mafia. It is stacked in that quiver case right next to Doomlings. So yes, it will also play a fair number of people. It will play up to 8. So both of these are games that you can play at 2, but will play higher player counts. Okay, what have we got next? We are going, Chili Mafia, number 45. Number 45 is more substantial than some of the last couple of ones. Oh, it's heavy too. Lost Ruins of Arnak, number 45. We enjoy this a lot. We like that whole jungle adventure theme. And this is a fairly well-known game. And we don't play it as much as we would like to. This was both on our honorable mentions for games we wanted to play this summer that we didn't get to. It kind of seems like that this numbers 50 through 41 on this list are some of the ones that are things we meant to play this summer but didn't. We got to Skull Canyon Ski Fest and we definitely played Doomlings, but we did not get to Arnak and we did not get to Sleeping Gods. Arnak was actually an honorable mention on both Robert and I's list for summer games that we wished hit the table more often. And I do not have any of the expansions for this. I feel like if we actually did play this more often, I would get the expansions for it. But we enjoy it a lot when we play it. Number 44. We are to number 44. Number 44 is also something we got recently. It is heavy. I'm going to move my tea out of the way here so I don't knock it over. And this also falls into the category of just pure insane amounts of fun. It is pricey. Of course, Sleeping Gods is also pricey. This is just a pure dice chucking game. Just that's all it is it is dice chucking. It can play up to 6 players, and it is a huge amount of fun. Robert and I have fun with it, whooping and hollering as we chuck our dice and going, oh no, when we knock each other's dice off, or it just doesn't quite make it to where we were shooting for. But yeah, this is a huge amount of fun. Highly recommended if you are looking for just a pure dice chucking party game that doesn't need to play more than 6. But yes, we like this a lot. I've really been wanting to have a game day with a bunch of people over so that we can play tumbling dice with a large group. We haven't quite gotten a large group together, not when we've had tumbling dice. I think also that the family would like this a lot. So yeah, the bottom of the list is got some heavier weight games like Sleeping Gods, and Lost Ruins of Arnak is substantial. But a lot of this here in this particular 50 to 41 range is just like crazy amounts of fun with family and friends that are not necessarily deeply into board games, though there is a pretty good amount of strategy in Pursuit of Happiness. Let's see what we've got after Tumbling Dice. Ooh, number 43. Number 43 is a 2-player game. It is the first Button Shy game to be mentioned on this list, though I can give you, spoiler alert, there will be others. I actually think that this could be possibly a contender for best Button Shy game. It kind of depends upon the criteria you use. Button Shy makes these little wallet games. Revolver Noir has, it's an 18-card game. You play as basically 2 spies, agents, burglars, whatever, in a dark, spooky old house. And it's actually got a map of the house on the cards. The cards are all done in black and white. And every card has like the house map on it. And you can move and shoot or set off traps. If guns are triggery for you, and in American society they are for a lot of people, this is definitely not for you. But it's a nifty little hidden movement game where you are trying to basically find where each other are first, and you get a certain number of you've got to. Oh gosh, I can't even describe it, but it is very easy to learn, and the instructions are very well done. And if you have 2 copies of the games, you can play it with 4 players. There is actually, I think, there are 3 and 4 player variants, I think multiple variants and there are character expansions. There's a Rogue Agents expansion, but yes, there are variants and expansions for this so that you could play it with more players. I went ahead and got a second copy with the idea that I would have it if the opportunity arose to play it with 4 players, because I think it would be really interesting and a very different game, though still with the whole cat and mouse thing, with 4 players. And number 42 is also something we got fairly recently. I believe it was Christmas of last year we got this. Yeah, I think so. No, it may have been real early this year, but I'm thinking it was Christmas last year. Yeah, it was. The family got us this from our local board game store, and it was a game I had looked at there but not gotten. We like Scooby-Doo. Yes, we do. We like Scooby. And this is a co-op game, and this is not the Kickstarter edition. This is just retail, so you have your choice of only 3 villains. The Kickstarter version has more villains. And if I were going to say that there was one thing that... Is this right? And I'm holding it upside down. If there was one thing I was so on this game, is that there's not a lot of variety of the villains, but each villain has something different about the way they operate. But this was a lot of fun, and it was fairly tricky. We have actually played this with the family because we played it, Robert and I, the 2 of us, and we had so much fun, and we're right. and this is sideways. We had so much fun and we're raving about it so much that the family, our extended family, niece and nephew and brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they wanted to get in on the fun too. So yeah, we did play this. It plays 1 to 5. So yeah, that was good fun. And that is, and we will probably be playing this again with spooky season coming up next month. But we don't only play it during spooky season. It's got a very Scooby-Doo sort of feel to it, I will say. I think they did really well. And number 41, the last one we will be covering today is, yeah, some of you may recognize this. It is not Gloom regular, but Cthulhu Gloom. We have all of our Gloom in one box. That's it. You should keep all of your Gloom in a single box. Doesn't that sound nice? I think I've got the box for Cthulhu Gloom in here. There's a Cthulhu version of everything. And Gloom is, I think, not everything is suitable to have a Gloom for a Cthulhu version, but I do think that Cthulhu Gloom is suitable for a thing, because this is a game in which you are trying to kill off your family and have horrible things happen to them, while at the same time inflicting very, very nice stuff on your opponents. And it plays well at 2. This is the box for it. The Glooms are like indexed in here. And we also have the expansion Unpleasant Dreams. So yes, we have all of the Gloom. Well, no, actually we don't have all the Gloom, but we do have Cthulhu Gloom, and we do enjoy it very, very much. It does reference the Lovecraft works, as it should. It does a pretty good job of that. But if you want just a little bit of that whole Cthulhu flavor to something, then this does a good job. It repurposes the cards. It's got completely different cards from the other versions of Gloom. It's just that they are themed for Cthulhu. And I think you might be seeing more of my grief case, as this is called, my big box of Gloom, in future episodes. But anyhow, that is it for now. Second channel anniversary, 100 episodes, and the beginning of a top 50 list. This is 50 through 41. The next one I will put out will be 40 through 31. I don't know if that will be next week or the week after. You will just have to wait and see. It will be a surprise. But I don't know. Some of these, I'm kind of surprised about some of them. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I'm a little surprised that Arnak is as far down on the list as it is. But that's probably because it doesn't hit the table very often. And in some ways, I'm kind of surprised that things like Doomlings and Chili Mafia, which we play fairly often because they are fast, light, easy to table card games. You can just pick them up and play anytime. I'm kind of surprised that they're not higher too. But we have so many good games that, and I should also add, I use Pub Meeple to rank these. I ran it all through Pub Meeple, so this is what they came up with. And they do have a nifty little engine for ranking things. And would I change some of these? 41 through 50? I don't know. When I look at some of the ones that are higher up on the list, I'm thinking that that's probably about right. Maybe Pub Meeple did a better job of this than I initially thought when I first looked at it. But anyhow, I have been just knocking boxes of games around here and not drinking my tea. Somebody mentioned, I don't think you drank any tea during that episode. Tea. I have had a really good time all these 2 years, chatting with y'all in the comments and making videos and watching your videos, because I know some of you make videos too. And it's a nice little community here on YouTube. There are a lot of very professional board game creators on YouTube. I highly recommend that you check those people out because there are a lot of people that are doing reviews and teaches and playthroughs and analysis even. And that's really good, but I didn't really feel like I needed to do that because there were so many people on YouTube doing that thing much better than I could. I just wanted to share my love of board games, the games that we're playing from time to time, and just talk to you about the fun we had playing them or the incredibly stupid thing that I did while we were playing the game whereby I just cut my own throat, or how Robert managed to roll 3 ones in a row and we thereby lost the co-op game, or something like that. Because we have a huge amount of fun playing these games. I mean, just a crazy amount of fun. And that's just a really nice way to spend the weekend. Obviously, we don't play games all weekend long, but most of our gameplay is on the weekend, and we usually manage to play something. And it's just nice sitting around talking with you about it and reading your comments and replying to them and finding out what games you have played or been playing, which games we have in common, and what games you think that I would like based upon the other games that I like. So yeah, it's been a really fun 2 years, and I am looking forward to doing more of this. And I hope you'll stick around for it, or at the very least, just stick around and wait and see what comes up on the rest of the top 50 as I record them here and there and put them out interspersed with other videos. But I will see y'all next time round the table. It's been fun. Bye.